And today is the last day of our spectral moon of liberation. This is the last day. So we're going to go ahead and close this out. And tomorrow we start a new calendar. We start on our 12th galactic moon. Then we only got one more left because it only goes 13 moons. So let's go ahead and dive in here. Let's see. All right, so today is kin number 66, which is the white magnetic world bridger. So this one is, I unify in order to equalize attracting opportunities. I seal the store of death with the magnetone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. The color is white. The planet is Mars. The chakra is the throat. And the earth family is the cardinal. And today we have no rune, but the message is through the cube image, through the cube, imaginal and phenomenal planes of reality are joined into the unified whole. So this is going to be a series B52, Hyperplasmic Enlightenment. This is 7th dimension. And this is moving us also from the 7th to the 9th dimension, inner core time. So with that being said, let me grab this because I said yesterday I was going to talk about it, but I forgot to grab it out of my book. Okay. So now tomorrow we will start the crystal moon. Here's the question. How can I dedicate myself to all that lives? Okay. Hey, Pearly. Hey, welcome on in. Welcome. So here is, this is going to be the calendar of Crystal Rabbit cooperation. Cooperation. When we hear that word cooperation, that almost makes us feel like we have to comply, like we have to do something. I'm cooperating, like you're agreeing to do something. So I wish it was a different word, but I'm not. So when we look at, hold on, let's just go ahead and break this down. Let's just break it down. Let's just go there. I'm going to break it down. Let's look at the gematria of the word. There's a lot going on today, and okay, cooperation. Cooperation. So this word when we look at it in Jewish, it comes to in Hebrew, I should say, it comes to 448. In English, it comes to 786. In simple gematria, it comes to 131. So let's look at it under Hebrew. Not claiming to be decoded K, candy. God tells me he like K. God is Isis, controller, crossroads, escapist, function. Okay, that's just a few of the words. But let's look at the etymology. I'm really into this, knowing what words really mean because of the fact that we take it for granted to say certain words and we hang our energy on certain words when we really should fully know what is the true meaning of that word, besides what we're told what it is. And when you take the time and really look it up yourself and go in there and break it down, okay, cooperation. It says 1620 is French. There we go. And it is all about a working together as a noun of action of past principles stems of cooperare, to work together, from an assimilated form of come with together, to come with together. So this is also to work, produce in abundance, cooperation, okay, directly. So underneath this calendar, when we start it tomorrow, the words are going to be about dedicate, unutilize, kind of more ununiversalized, and cooperation. Allow love to lead the way to embracing the independency of all aspects of one's life. All right. So we have dedicate. What are you going to be dedicated to? We have universalize. What's being universalized? And then we have cooperation. What are you willing to do, to say yes to? I like that form better. What are you going to say yes to? So, in being that we are going to be dealing with a lot of 7th and 9th dimensional energy, this is going to be a little taxing on some people today. So it's going to make you really you probably find yourself sitting, thinking about things, not really trying to jump into something, just kind of being. Because you got that Mars energy right there. So today is one of those days where you kind of are going to be reflecting, thinking about things. You'll set out and go forward and do a couple things, but still, it's going to be like, because it's the last day of this calendar. So this month went by like that. Okay? Spectral moon of liberation went by like that. So what was dissolved? What was released, and what did you feel liberated from? Okay? Because going into the next one is going to be what for you? So that's where we are right now in this kit and caboodle of all the goodness. So let me just say this. Today has been one of those days where I am just like, I went out, went down to my storage place because they're replacing all the roll-up door things. And so I'm thinking, did they already do mine? Yeah, they already did mine yesterday. But unfortunately, everything was right in front of my door and 2 other garages down. So it was like, they were like, do you have to get in? We can move. I said, no, just finish up your thing. I'll just come back tomorrow and do what I got to do. Just finish up your flow. Because they were all in a flow. They had things going. And then if I come and say, well, I really got to get into my storage thing and I got to put this away and da-da-da-da-da, then I got to get this out and da-da-da-da, that would have been interrupting their flow. So I said, no, I'm not that type of woman. I see a flow. You guys are in a flow. I'm not going to disrupt that. I'll just come back tomorrow, but I'm not going to haul anything back up the stairs. Forget it. It's going to stay where it needs to stay. So yesterday we had a lot of energy going on with the Chrisleys and others being pardoned and left, being taken out, which was good. Okay. And I'm gonna say why that's happening. But think about it. The old federal tax thing is down, it's gone. So legally, they have to come out of there. Okay. He's not doing anything. The mini Trumps ain't doing anything new because technically they are in there at the time when that was already being taken down. Okay. So technically it's falsified arrests. So they had to be taken out. And then some of the people that were put in there for whatever reason, they were not going to agree to certain things that they were being asked to do. Okay. I learned that from what was that movie? I think it was The Expendables 2 or 3. I think it was the third one. The one with Wesley Snipes. And he made it a point to say it in the movie about how he got put in for tax evasion stuff. And he said it in the movie. He said, yeah, but it wasn't about that. He said, it wasn't about that. It was about something else. And I was like, So one of the things I came across, I did some research on the Titans. And I'm not really feeling that. And I'm not feeling the Anunnaki either. And there's all this talk about, oh, well, this is coming and that and that. Well, who said this was coming? Who gave the memo? Because where are they coming from? Are they coming from middle world or are they coming from upper world? Where are they coming from? I'm just asking a question. Just asking. Because unlike everybody else, I'm sure all of you are getting sick and tired of hearing this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to go, this is this, da, 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 and here we are going 4 or 5 years now, and certain things did not take place yet. So this is where we're looking at these timelines. These timelines. The timelines is the key. The timelines is the key to everything right now. So one of the things we need to pay attention to the stargates. I wrote this down yesterday, and it kind of, you know how you're just kind of fiddling around and you're doing your stuff and you're just kind of doing whatever, and you hear something and it's like it hits your radar and you go, I got to write that down. And you make notes of it. So there's 12 stargates. There's more than 12 stargates on this planet. There's a lot more, okay? But certain ones that are already up and operating and doing what they're doing, okay? So let me ask you this, and I'll prove my point here. Everything that's done on a portal and just going over and getting it, okay? You know how you have Amazon? You know how you have Prime? Okay. What is the whole factor about Prime? You pay a membership a month, right? What is it? $14.99 every month, or what is it? $99 a month or something, whatever that is. I don't know. But you pay your monthly membership, right? You put in an order and they tell you with your Prime, you can get this the next day. Okay? It's either going to be the next day or in 48 hours. Haven't you ever wondered, like, some things that you might order, if they're coming from somewhere else that's not in the United States, they're coming from somewhere else? Haven't you ever wondered how they get that packaging so fast? Maybe there's a reason why they call it Amazon. Should I? There's a reason why I'm saying, yeah, we're at the end of this calendar, but we're going into another one. So let's look at something. Amazon. What's the gematria? Oh, what's the gematria of that? Amazon. In Hebrew, it is 622. In English, it is 420. And in simple gematria, it is 70. Interesting, isn't it? Let's just look up what's in Hebrew. Egyptian fall because denied the bride. Instruct, command all, commandments. Enoch pissed on himself. Look at this. Steadfastness, good example, signature, last Christmas, holy crap, yantra, thunderbirds, time calculator. That right there. There it is. 622. Time calculator. Time calculator. Okay. So when you look at this, I cheat her birthright. 986. This is on gematria. Yahweh, Lilith, Ashley, track back, Golden Age, Vatican, Secrets, Jimmy, Adam and Eve, Francis, Stop, Moderna. Why would that be underneath Amazon? Simon, Alex, In Time, Barry, Henry, Jess, Harry, Zombie. Proof, Enough, Hathor, Walker, Bruno, Better, Demons. Now, someone had made a mention about the word demon, and I went and looked it up, and I was not getting the same breakdown of what they were looking at, but it still comes up as a lower vibrational being. So the reason why I'm saying this is because remember yesterday I made that comment about we really have to do our due diligence to pay attention to information that's being presented in front of our eyes and what we're hearing and seeing and who's saying it. And now we have to ask ourselves this: is this person real or is this AI generated? Now we have to constantly start asking ourselves that. Now, since they are really presenting this whole AI thing, which they've been using, now we have to really start asking if this is real or not. Like we had to do during the whole time of the presidency. Is this real or not? Is this real or not? Now it's going to accelerate because we really have to start paying attention. Peekaboo is on here also. So the 12 stargates and additional ones that I wrote down. The one in Arizona, okay, that particular one deals with our will. Okay, they're like the chakras, how that's all set up. Okay. Then there is one in Florida. There's one in Bermuda Islands, Bermuda. There's one in Giza, of course. Machu Picchu in Peru. There's one in the Cascade Mountains in Russia. There's another one in Peru by Lake Titicaca. There's one in China, one in Tibet, one in Iran. Okay, so do you really think they were over there the whole time fighting in Iran? with each other? Or was that just documented footage to present? Because if you have a Stargate that's activated there and they are not used to what comes through the Stargates, and I asked my team about that, then I heard validation that certain beings were coming through that Stargate, and that's what they really were fighting over there. They weren't fighting each other or others on film. They were fighting things that they could not explain what they were seeing. So that's a hot Stargate right there. Then there's one in England. Then there's one in France. And there's another one in Australia. And there's a couple other ones that I don't have the listings on. But there's way more than 12 Stargates. Why am I bringing this up? I want you to pay attention to when a Stargate is fully activated, how is the weather response when that Stargate portal is open? What is happening in that whole area? Okay. Are they getting hail? Are they getting flooding, rain, all of a sudden? Are they getting dust storms? What are they getting? Are they getting earthquakes? So all my star light gritters and ley line gritters, you need to write this down, because you want to, it always get cold. Yeah. You want to write this down, because if you are close to one of these Stargate areas, you want to be paying attention to what's happening. And you want to pay attention to when it started, what time. Was it day or was it night? Okay. What time? Because this is like a mapping of certain things that'll start kicking off, depending, because they're fighting over the control of a Stargate. And anyone fighting over a Stargate will be fighting over the control of it in that area. Okay? So when we talk about how Stargates are put together, certain people that have an imprinted energy within them will know that a Stargate is open, because you have a connection with that Stargate. Depending on your ley line that runs to it, if you were even born around that ley line when that Stargate is being opened, you're going to know. Okay? So do some research, find out, if it's anything, if you're in these areas, pay attention, especially with Bermuda. Bermuda, we got to be cautious with that, because that's that triangle portal. And that one is where when it gets activated, that's when planes go missing. Okay. So we already know what's going to be going on in Egypt. And then there's Peru. We have to watch Peru because they have 2 of them. Okay. It's almost like with the when you look at the way how some of these portals sit, the Stargates, are they sitting next to water? And are they sitting next to a mountain? Okay. Or are they just plainly out in a desert area and they're just standing right there? Okay. So pay attention to where you are living and what's going on in that area. So that's all I got going on for today. I hope all of you have tried your the salt underneath the bed, the salt water. If you haven't, please do put that in there. I'm going to pull just a couple of cards and then I'm hopping off because I have a big project thing I'm trying to work on. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. And let me do the astro codes. Is everyone doing okay? How's everyone sleeping? I slept like a log last night. I was out. So when you do your salt water and you place that underneath the bed in a bowl or a jar, make sure you change it out every 48 to 72 hours. Okay? You're kind of pushing it when it gets past 72 hours. I like to change mine every 42 hours. 48 hours. Is everyone doing good? It's cold. Okay, from cold. Yeah, it's kind of a weird day. I went out and I was just like, it's a weird day. It's a weird feeling. Just feels like, you know what it feels like when you're really in your process and you know what's going on. It feels like I'm out of place. Like I'm not, like I'm visiting. You know how it feels when you go over to somebody's house and you never met the person, but you have that awkward feeling and you're going into someone else's space. You were invited by someone else, but they're saying, yeah, come on over, it's okay, but you kind of feel awkward. I'm okay today. I don't feel like doing anything, not sleeping well. Get that bowl. Go get it. Put the salt in the bowl. Put your water in it. Fill it up. And I'm not talking about a little pinch of salt. No, put salt in the bowl. Put the water in there. Slide it underneath your bed. And I like to have it as close to the middle as possible. Okay? And then sprinkle the salt around your bed. And see how it breaks up the disruption. You want to disrupt the energy that's interfering with you getting sleep. Because a lot of it has to do with pushing energy down on you to make you stay downward. Okay? So the message I have right now is I have sacred waters cleanse the emotions. Sacred waters cleanse the emotions. And that is a symbol. Cleanse the emotions. Look how water is coming up. The second card is unlock the lock. You are the key. 777. Unlock the lock. Unlock the lock. Set yourself free. Where are you feeling locked up? Where are you feeling blocked? And then Lyran, the 12th gate, Stargate, Royal House, power, strength, courage, and royalty. That's being activated. The star code for today, 8th house mystery. Where are we feeling like, okay, the ancestors are giving me a message, but it still feels like a mystery to me. I'm not really sure what I'm feeling into. And then there's the Virgo, what it needs to be digest. And then the following is something that's happening right now. Quantum leap. So remember what I was saying about the Amazon. How do you think they're getting those packages to make sure they can give it to you on that time? They would have to have some kind of teleportational thing to make sure they can meet the demands of what you're asking for. Because what's the use of charging you a membership and they can't get it to you close to that time of what you're asking for? Okay. So if they have that technology up, and someone I was talking to yesterday, and they said, yeah, this whole thing with the new AI, how it's coming on. I said, it's not really new. It's old technology. And I keep telling everyone, remember, all your technology, everything that we have is 10 to 12 years old. 15 is pushing it also. Why they are using all the updated stuff. Why do you think all these stars are looking like they're really young? Because they're going into machines that can turn back the hands of times, that reboots their telomeres 20 years back. See, this is how I'm going to close this out. It's boring now. It's boring. When they keep presenting the same thing over and over and over, and we're supposed to go, oh my, oh wow, we're supposed to do that. But when you look at it really, and you see it for what it is, there's no oohing. There's no, oh my gosh. I wonder how long they had that going on. There's questioning the motive, questioning. From this point on, we're going to be questioning everything. Right now, they got this thing going on about the whole, some kind of court thing, hearing, where they're all gathered in. The doctors are all talking about all the findings of the vaccine and all this stuff. But if you read in the comments, people are going off in the comments and really upset about how they're having this big discussion, but no one's taking accountability for what happened to people with it. No one's taking a responsibility. When we start seeing the patterns, and you can look and see the patterns for what they are, this is where we do have that wisdom. We do have that divinity where we look at it and say, no, they've had a long time to plan it all out and implement what they were going to do. Okay? So, take a look at those stargates. And don't buy too much into a lot of stuff that's going on with Anunnaki energy and Titan energy stuff, because here's the thing. Nobody's telling the truth, or nobody really knows the exact thing of what is going on, because we don't know. Every day that we go through our days and we look for clues to tell us where we're going from here. We're paying attention. A lot of things are being done on purpose just to get your attention, to see if you're paying attention. That's how they're trying to see who's paying attention to this, who's really awake, who's not. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Nothing major. I'm going to bid each one of you a wonderful day. And the energy is heavy. And Shay, I'm totally right there with you about, just don't really feel like doing a lot. We got slammed with a huge pocket full of plasma. Stefan was talking about it did come. He was hoping when he saw it on the side when it was sitting But then as it kept moving, when it released, it did come directly to us. So that plasma, that charged energy is playing on us right now, along with everything else that we have to keep dealing with. Pay attention to your animals. When your cats are underneath beds, in corners of walls, they're not laying out in the open, they're kind of sheltering themselves because they know whatever's coming through, they don't like what they're feeling, so they're going lower and getting away from it. If you do have cats and you do put your salt water underneath, they're not going to drink it. They're going to want to stay kind of close by it because it makes them feel good. Okay? So just know that that's where we are right now. All right, lovelies, I'll be on tomorrow and we'll start the new calendar. And then we'll start going into prep for June 1st, which is going to be a portal day. And then it looks like we got quite a few portals for June. And that's 6. And we're going to break down that number 6 and talk about what is that 6 energy and how we're going to be utilizing it. All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. I know this was short and straight to the point, but you just got to be in the flow. Just pay attention. All right. Much love to all of you. Be so light. Remember, if you want to get into one of the Spiral Light sessions, let me know. You can just go ahead and email me at my website, my webpage at galacticspirallight.com. That's it. galacticspirallight.com. And I have all those other extra posts that I put into the post so that you can watch that, bring your energy up. And maybe it's just a place where you just need to kind of be and just relax and be okay with that. It's okay to just say, I just need time out. I just need to be. It's okay to do that. This is all about that energy coming in. And you don't need a long time out in the sun to get your codes. Just the minute when you walk out. That's what's happening, because then you stand back and you go, oh my God, what is this? You know what I'm saying? All right, lovelies, be good to yourself. It's just simply me. I want each and every one of you to take care of yourself and stay hydrated. And just be. You don't feel like doing something? Don't try to make yourself do something. Just be. And just say, you know what? I just need to be. Because it's in the being and in the quietness when you really receive it and you feel what's going on. You'll hear the whispers of what to do next. Okay? All right, lovelies. I'll see you tomorrow and we'll get that new calendar started. Stepping into some newness. We'll get that done. Have a great day. Bye.